You're listening to the Multifamily Market Watch for Washington State. Apartment owners who need to know, trust HFO, the leading source for multifamily industry news around the state, from Puget Sound to the Tri-Cities.
Welcome to the first Washington Multifamily Market Watch of 2023. I'm your host, Aaron Kirk Douglas. HFO's podcasts are co-sponsored by Gantry Inc., the nation's largest independent mortgage broker, and by J.R. Johnson, experts in multifamily repair and restoration. Here's some news from around Washington you may have missed since our last update. The Spokane City Council has set a vote on tenant protections for January 23rd. The vote was rescheduled from November after landlords and industry groups criticized the short amount of time allowed for industry response to the proposed ordinance. This new law would require the licensing and paid registration for all rental units. It would provide for routine and special inspections and force housing providers to accept universal background checks conducted by a city-approved vendor. It would offer landlords a rental mitigation fund, and it would provide tenants with free legal services to fight evictions. It would also offer tenants a relocation fund and bar retaliation. Details of this proposed new ordinance can be found online at spokanecity.org. To the north in Woodinville, Main Street Property Group and Howell Real Estate announced plans to develop 207 apartments and 24,000 square feet of ground floor retail on a 4.25-acre site on Northeast 175th, currently home to the Woodgate Shopping Center. Construction is set to begin early this year. A second phase of an additional 63 townhouse units is planned to follow. The Urbanist reports that more than 2,500 homes planned near the Overlake station in Redmond have been imperiled by the city's aggressive code update. The Overlake neighborhood is set to get light rail by 2025, and Redmond's policies have funneled a lot of growth to that area. This new proposal, Redmond 2050, would double inclusionary zoning requirements and mandate deeply decarbonized buildings by 2024. Developers are up in arms over the change and are complaining loudly and publicly to the city's planning commission. One intersection in Seattle's Ballard neighborhood is having a bunch of money dumped into it. It was late November when two multifamily builders paid $42 million for property at the same intersection. The two projects at 24th and Northwest Market will be home to a combined 420 units. The neighborhood has nearly 600 units under construction, with another 825 approved and an additional 2,500 under review. That number of units represents a big jump in an area with an existing apartment inventory of fewer than 5,500 units. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports that a Spanish billionaire has paid $323 million for the 461-unit Kiara luxury apartment tower in Seattle. The 40-story building is on Terry Avenue North between Amazon's South Lake Union and downtown campuses. The seller purchased the property just 2 years ago for just $3 million less than today's sale price. The tower offers several two-story penthouses that command rents between $13,000 and $17,000 a month. Speaking of Amazon, the company announced it will grant $3 million towards an affordable housing project adjacent to its former headquarters property in Seattle's Chinatown. The first phase of a 270-unit affordable housing development was announced last month. The $3 million is part of about $150 million in low-rate loans and grants for affordable housing across Puget Sound from Amazon's Housing Equity Fund. The Tacoma News-Tribune reports the city has 2 new apartment towers approved for downtown. One is Tacoma Tower, which will consist of 63 market-rate units at 1119 Pacific Avenue. Rents there will range from $1,800 to $2,750 per unit. Another development at 725 Broadway will see the construction of 129 market-rate units with rents ranging from $1,575 to $3,600. According to developer Harbor Custom Development, new luxury units in Tacoma's South End are quickly leasing up. For example, 80-unit Pacific Ridge opened last fall near Joint Base Lewis McChord. The first development phase is expected to be fully leased early this year, with the remaining phases to follow shortly after. Rents in the 5-building walk-up style development range from $1,195 to $2,045 per month, and those units range in size from 384 to 1,100. Finally, the Puget Sound Business Journal reports that the first constitutional challenge to the City of Seattle's mandatory housing affordability program has been filed by a lifelong Central District resident. The resident called the mandatory housing affordability program extortion and blames the program for driving up the cost to develop housing, resulting in the displacement of people from the Central District, which is a historically black neighborhood. The plaintiff argues that when she attempted to build a fourplex on her lot to house immediate family members, the city demanded she pay $77,000 immediately to the Affordable Housing Fund or add 2 additional units and rent them at below market rates for 75 years. That's it for this edition of the Washington Multifamily Market Watch. Don't forget to tune in to HFO's other bi-weekly podcasts focusing on Oregon and Southwest Washington. You can find them all on our website or your favorite podcast outlets.
Our entire office specializes in multifamily real estate, making HFO the largest multifamily brokerage in the Pacific Northwest. Your success is our passion. Build your legacy with HFO. Call 503-241-5541 or visit our website at hfore.com for more information. HFO is an affiliate of the Global Real Estate Advisor Network.